Hello and welcome to episode 44 of my Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker playthrough. We are on Ultima Thule. We've just arrived. We have work to be done. Thancred is missing. Try as he might, Alphino can find no sign of Thancred. We're fortunate this place can support life, albeit barely, I suspect, given the tepid? No, that's not tepid. Torpid, stale air quality of the air. But never mind that. We must find Thancred. Let us begin our search from the prow of the ship. Seems like a good a direction as any. Try not to stray too far, lest we lose sight of one another. "900 meters north. That's a long ass way away for just the first ether current. We need to be taking part in fate. But we should get some more of the map uncovered first. Dragons. Stone dragon. Ruins, but of what, I wonder? Perhaps we can find something to help us understand the nature of this place. A relic, an inscription, anything. I see no one else in the barren waste, do you? And why do I feel like we're not alone? Like there's another presence with us. Something dark and mournful. The metallic pillar has been partially melted, likely something in the distant past. The damage does not appear to have been inflicted deliberately, rather it calls to mind the indiscriminate destruction wrought in the heat of battle. These remains have long since turned to ash, and yet they retain their form. I suppose it's not impossible, but is this the star that, because I was looking at this floor, and this floor looks reminiscent. This looks like the kind of flooring we saw in Omega's zone. So is this where the battle between Omega and the dragons took place? Or Omega's people and the dragons? There is a structure here in front of me, yes? A tower of stone of some sort, physically melted. In a strange twist of fate, it seems our perception of this place is not so different as it would be elsewhere. The world as I used to see it, it feels as though I'm dreaming while awake. This is more than the faded memory of Meteon. This is more than the faded memory Meteon led us believe. Look here, this part is relatively intact. The intricate design on the top suggests it's man-made, though its builders were surely not men, as we conceived them. Having said that, I swear I've seen this pattern before. Yeah, it's Omega's. The structures are built by the same people. The structures are built by the same people that... oh, it's over there. The structures are built by the same people that built Omega. I don't know if we actually knew the name of Midgardsormr's star. Stinian. I thought the hill might offer a better view of the surroundings. Poor decision in hindsight. Aside from the light of the ship, all is surrounded in darkness. If Thancred is here, I'd never know it. From what I can tell, we're near the edge of an island, if you can call it that, surrounded by floated debris. Were you able to find anything? Yes, yes I was. I know where we are. No, we know where we are! As I feared, still no trace of Thancred. Oh, Thancred, yeah, I've not seen any of him. There's nothing but emptiness as far as the eye can see, which, fortunately, or unfortunately, isn't very far. Though I can't help but suspect that someone or something is here. There are times when I sense it drawing close, and then a chill washes over me, leaving me exhausted. Leaving me with a feeling of death and anguish. I felt it too, when I was near that thing. That thing is clearly a dragon! It is clearly a dragon! What are you talking about? There's nothing here. Before we jump to any conclusions, perhaps we should search elsewhere. Agreed. We found only one more quest. We found only more questions when we are desperately in need of answers. There's a fair stretch of terrain from the ship's starboard we've yet to explore. Let us try searching there then. Nathan, a word before we join the others. Estinian knows! Come on, dragons! We see dragons! Apparently they see nothing, but I imagine Estinian feels dragons. Or senses it more accurately. Lesser stellar dragon! It is somewhat infuriating when your character is more stupid than you are, or just doesn't realise things before you, when you do. There is no way this isn't Omega's or, I should probably say, Midgardsormr's home. You see them too, don't you? The dragons. As I thought, their presence is tenuous at best, but there's no mistaking it. No doubt your bond with Midgardsormr and mine with Nidhogg is what allows us to perceive them. Could these apparitions be related to the dragons that now live on Etheris? Better to leave such conjectures to others. In any case, we must be careful. We may soon find dragons that can see us as well. Death and anguish. What happened to them, I wonder? A war with the men of this place. Hey, look! Dragon spirits we can talk to. Surely mine eyes deceives me. That cannot be possible. My sight may have been restored in a fashion, but I fear what I see cannot be trusted. It's as if Meteion herself has etched these images onto my heart. I doubt not that such a feat is within her power, given that she constructed this sanctuary herself. Dragons. 'Tis true they are not of our world, but to find them in a prison of the despair. It seems to me these dragons have yet to succumb completely to the darkness of this place, meaning the others should see them as well. Look there. Are those ghosts, do you think?
Dragons? Here?
What you see is a memory of a world that once was. A world suffering a slow death, whose denizens cried out for the release of oblivion.
What? Their world is dead?
It is. Not a single life remains upon that husk floating in the vast emptiness. These creatures are shadow and shade, perpetuated only to suffuse dynamis with their unending lamentations.
Our friend Thancred. Where is he?
A strange question. He is at your side, is he not? Oh yes. He is here and there, and everywhere within this space. He would tell you himself if he had form to form words. Huh. Such loathing and uncertainty. You don't know why you still exist. In like manner to the oblivion I send, I tried to drown out your ether with dynamis. Beginning with this Thancred, who came at me despite being unable to breathe. Such a simple thing, unmaking men. In the blinking of an eye, he was gone. Didn't even have the chance to be transformed. Yet somehow, he managed to leave a slither of himself behind. What you call the heart? Or perhaps the soul. In his final moment, he cried out from it. A single word. Survive. That wish proved stronger than the despair that ruled here. It overpowered it, causing this space to be remade. Into a place you can perceive, and where life can endure.
So this place basically is Thancred's will.
That you draw breath is proof that his soul lives on. For how long, however, remains to be seen.
Well then, we should hurry and tend to business.
It's futile. You will never reach the true me. I told you. Emotions dictate reality in this space. Such changes as you might work will not alter in its nature. You may see, but you cannot touch. Walk, but not advance.
Meteion holds too much sway here. How do we contend with a foe who can unmake us on a whim?
I do not know. But Thancred gave his life that we might come this far. We must press on.
Agreed. We cannot turn tail here. Not without something to show for our comrade's sacrifice.
Just standard purple dyes. I don't use any of them. Give me the gold. He can't really be gone, can he? Meteion herself said his soul persists. That he is the reason we are still breathing. If that is so, then maybe... My aim was true. I had her. How are we to defeat an enemy we cannot attack? I understand now why the Loprits were surprised to find this environment could sustain life. But for Thancred's sacrifice... His will was strong enough to reshape Ultima Thule, that we might survive, that I might see him again. His sacrifice must not be wasted. Or that I might see again, sorry. It's hard to believe Thancred was able to overcome Meteion's will, and yet here we are, a world that would that the price for his victory had not been so high. Wait a second, you say you have your sight back. Do your eyes look normal? No, your eyes still look like they used to. Or at least, how they did before we arrived here, as opposed to how they actually used to look. Despite Meteion's words, Urianger cannot accept his comrade is gone. A soul without body, a form of being with which we are not wholly unfamiliar. Indeed, for we existed in a similar state when residing in the First. The circumstances are rather more dire than that, 'tis true, but I choose to believe he is not forever lost to us. Regardless, in sacrifice he hath afforded us a chance to prevail. Let us not squander it, and ascertain the nature of this realm that we might confront and defeat Meteion. Estinian, Nathan, would you accompany me in speaking with these dragons? Mayhap they can enlighten us. I would ask the rest of you to survey these surroundings. If there is a path that may lead us to our quarry, we must find it. Very well, we can reconvene here when everyone has finished. Meteion said these dragons are shadows and shades from a world whose denizens sought oblivion. As such, they are not they're not like to be amenable to company, let alone conversation. So please be careful. Let us split up and gather what knowledge we may. We was told that one of the important pieces of content before playing that we should try to complete before Endwalkers was the Omega Rate. If I needed any more confirmation that this is all related to Midgard Suma's homeworld, a visitor, not of this star. Could thy slender hands bring plague to our world? Thy breath extinguish life's feeble flames? Oh, how we adore thee, alas. With time our flesh shall wither, our souls fade, and so we wait for its incorrigible march until oblivion. If thou hast not come to hasten our demise, I bid thee leave us. We crave not companionship, only silence. I want to mention the name Midgardsuma to one of these guys. Beyond that distant veil, paradise lost, so glorious, so beautiful. We were a proud and noble race, strength embodied. We knew only love before they came. Metallic monstrosities of black and silver, no bonds of blood did they share, nor conviction did they have to guide them. A crushing defeat, never had we known such shame. Stilled now are the winds, though none could fill these winds burdened by ignominy. We fly no more, only sink into oblivion. Okay, that's confirming bits and pieces of information that I hadn't entirely remembered. I knew that there was a war between Omega's people and Dragonkind. I had forgotten that the war was because the creators of Omega invaded. Thou wouldst bid me speak? Folly. I observe the lessons of stone. I shall not fly, nor speak, nor roar, only watch and wait and end. But one sight yet stirreth my blood, tempteth me to raise my voice in lamentations. Arma Nola, the cradle of unsung dragons. No words, no songs are possessed of the weight to describe such tragedy. Go, if that be thy will, I shall remain. So they have basically just given up hope and are just waiting to die. They led you here as well, did they? It was described to me as the source of their woes and proof of their end. I think I'm beginning to see why. It's a hatching ground, or was. I've seen similar on Aetheris. Midgardsorm's kind must once have lived and thrived in a place such as these. Vitra said his father was driven from their ancestral home by war and strife. This, then, is the fate of those who remained. Let's have a look around. Maybe these eggs have more to tell of what happened here. Inside the shattered egg, you find the remains of an unborn dragon. The body has already begun to decompose. The gelatinous, half-dried membrane covering the corpse suggests it failed to emerge. The murky liquid has pooled inside this egg. The noxious photor is indicative of contamination. Gingerly lifting a large egg from the viscous mire, you peer inside to see a formless mass soaking in a pool of embryonic fluid. Your stomach turns as you return the egg to its resting place. This one looks okay though. This egg appears to have been broken from the inside out. Perhaps the dragonite within succeeded in hatching. What is this? I thought all the eggs had been ruined. If the dragon was indeed hatched, there's no sign of it here, or its sire, for that matter. We should look for them. You start with the cliff top, I'll start with the plains. Does hope yet remaineth? Think might be the direction we're heading. Malformed dragonites. The boisterous howling hath been quietened by thy hand, I presume. Everything all right? I thought I heard a dragon, or something resembling one. Ah, I see what happened here. Was it your child? Perhaps. Some eggs within Almanal are indeed mine. If life within once did quicken, the beast thou hast slain may be of my blood. Yet I did not recognize it, twisted and malformed as it is. Not a dragon in truth, but a reminder of our failure, a testament to our shame. Explain. They descended from the heavens, cold, heartless machines, and with them rode war and death. With fire and fury, rage and rancor, we gave answer. 'Twas a long and bloody battle, but only in the beginning. Untold chaos and destruction swept over the star, until the end. The invaders were victorious. Yet, when they looked upon their prize, they deemed it unfit for requisition. We were abandoned to our ruin. The survivors sought to put away their shame, to rebuild, a futile effort. In the purest soil, repent with ether, did we once cultivate our nesting grounds. But our lands were barren, and any eggs nurtured in such desolation were fated to rot. What few survived hatched emerged as abominations. We shall have no new progeny. But there are dragons among you capable of journeying to other stars. That there are. Many would make the attempt, each bearing a clutch of eggs. The richest stars were home to the harshest rulers, and the arrival of dragons incited contests for supremacy. When the fires faded, the wars lost and won, they too were reduced to ash and waste. 'Tis the curse of those who seek life, to be drawn into conflict, to conquer or to be conquered. A vicious cycle we now chose to break. We tire of conflict, of everything. We wait now in sweet, merciful silence, free from strife and suffering, still as stone. Wait, you claim your kind is doomed, but there is another star. We have the last skill. We are complete. Okay, these are 160, it's just it's not actually showing the item sync value. The bereaved dragon has fallen silent, leaving Astillion to sigh with frustration. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed. A pain I understand, and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others want to hear what we have learned. Come. The others will want to hear what we have learned. Come. Not on this island, apparently. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I should have spoken to everyone. I didn't speak to everyone. I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Nathan Estinian. For our part, I believe we were more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off it. Sadly, there was none to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could be there's enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere. I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone into a potential platform, to judge its integrity. But it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundary of this island, it vanished, only to appear above me and then fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok to ask the Loprits to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide any conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Meteon told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key. But I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is, we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Meteon, but the dragons that hold us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it. Or rather, they've chosen no path at all, meaning there's no way for dragons or anyone on this island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening as though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They're not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built on a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Perhaps persuasion is not the answer. Meteon meant to unmake us, Meteor meant to unmake us then and there on the Ragnarok. And she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise ruled Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Meteion herself, against whom Thancred did pit himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such, I did chance to encounter a dragon possessed of despair far more potent than most, potent enough, mayhaps, to dictate the course for the others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen. Their tone and timbre alone threatened to rend my heart twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me naught against his calcified heart. But mayhaps one of you will fare better. Then I shall guide thee. Al's End, they call him, in the dragon tongue. Thou wouldst find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what do we have to lose? Let's get going. Estinian has found his resolve. Oh, not him. Someone much further away. I'll see you there. I interrupt this scheduled break in transmission to posit a theory while I am wandering. The theory goeth thusly, if I can now remember it. The music in the background. I recognise its the general flow of it. It basically sounds like the theme of this. Theme the right one? Yeah, we'll go with theme. I don't think it's quite the right word, but it basically sounds like the theme of the Endwalker expansion. So the one we heard during the trailers. Just heavily muted and restrained? No. Softened? Probably more accurate. I'm betting as we progress through this place and we start to bring hope back, which is what I'm assuming is what we're going to do, then the music will change with it. As may the entire island itself, but that is less likely, I think.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
Nope.
I'll handle this.
Yep.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Aye, our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heaven offers no comfort. There is nothing left for our kind. Our long lives a curse as we await the end. Still as the stone we shall become.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the Expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our kin? On another star? And yet, upon thee I smell the blood of my brethren. Were they drawn into discord and war on their new home?
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind.
It matteth not where we fly. Ever will a stagnant ocean await us. Ever will retribution's wheel turn. And so, on the last of my pride as a dragon, I break free of this wheel. I renounce conflict, exile myself from the others, never again to be touched by the flames of hatred.
Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us. Stay back!
We tire of war, we tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished, crimson stained. Our misery, our shame, too much to bear. Release us from war, from life.
I see. This is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinian too!
There's a wind.
He's opened the way for us. sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
Suspected Sam, goodbye. I'm busy, random phone number of whom I do not know. Leave a message if it's important, I'll get back to you. Ah, that'll be why we couldn't find any ether currents. So you remember what I said about the music? Must this always be the price paid for safe passage? If I had known this place would claim Estinian too, No. It is what had to be done. As by the beating of many wings doth the wind blow, where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky. He and the shade he bore shall soar free. The wind has stayed, and the fog that covered the island and the air. It no longer feels quite so stifling. Look there, the wind. This is Estinian's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Whee! This is an entirely different place. And that over there is yet another different place. So this isn't one world, it is a collection of lots of different worlds. Now the fog has gone, it does look way more pretty. A powerful gale has delivered you to another island. The other island should be arriving before long. He did it. He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped in a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinian knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices are why we can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. In every spirit, there's even in spirit, they are unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. Oh, that was the end. Okay, we'll have to call it there for an episode. I have to see whether or not this is important, or that call was important. So, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Is there any other things I need to be doing? Well, I suppose I'm about to get a message that tell me that my retainers need sending back out again, but we might start breaking for tea here. We'll see how long whatever this message requires of me, because it may very well be important. But anyway, thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheerio. Helps if you push the button first.